Just the other day, I realized how much live streaming is like preparing for a cooking show, which is great unless you're like me, whose friends and family tell them they cook like the Swedish chef. In that case, you better be prepared with your recipe. So, let's get started today and learn how to create a script for a live streaming event. I'm Sura Rosenberg, social media researcher and community engagement manager at TwoHeads. And I'm here today to tell you how much creating a live stream video script is like creating a sandwich. And there you have it, the 3 ingredients that you need to create an amazing live streaming sandwich. Let's get started. The intro is like the first piece of bread. The important thing is that you welcome your audience and you say hi, like, hey, Mark from Pennsylvania, how you doing? Or Jane from Chicago. People want to feel like they're being invited in and that they belong in the live streaming that you're offering. The other thing that's really important to have is some kind of icebreaker. I like to have a personal anecdote because I think it really brings people in and allows them to kind of communicate with you and get to know you a little bit better. Okay, the second ingredient is, of course, the middle of the sandwich, or the content. What you want to have in there is some prepared questions that you have thought about beforehand. And that's for 2 reasons. One, people might feel uncomfortable in the beginning specifically asking questions. If you have prepared questions, you can either give them to members of the audience or ask them yourself. And then, of course, people get started. Another important thing to remember is when you're preparing the questions, give multiple choice questions in the beginning. For example, you could ask people, if they were talking about live streaming, what is more difficult? The stage fright that they feel beforehand, the idea of what will be the return on investment for live streaming, or the tech? Because we all know when you're live streaming, something can go wrong. The other thing you want to remember is to recap as you go along, especially if your live stream is more than 15 minutes. Because people might be coming along in the middle and not have learned everything that you spoke about up until that point. Of course, as you all know, what really makes the difference between a regular sandwich and a super good sandwich is the condiments. A little bit of olives, pickles, mustard, mayo, something that adds some kind of pizzazz. What is the pizzazz in live streaming? Audience participation. That is the most important thing, getting your audience engaged. And how do you do that? Well, you might want to ask them to tweet to a friend or take a little Instagram video while they are watching your live streaming. Perhaps you do a poll. Anything that can bring the audience back and connect them to you is something that's really important to do, and something that you want to remember to put in your sandwich. And of course, the last piece is the last slice of bread, or hopefully not the end, I don't like the end. The last slice of bread, the bottom of the sandwich, and that is your call to action. And something that you should really plan before you start your live streaming. Where do you want your audience to go next? It's important that they know. Do you want them to sign up for your newsletter? Do you want them to watch another video? Do you want them to join a Facebook group? Whatever it is that you've decided you want to have happen, make sure you have your link prepared and that you're ready to share that with your audience. Thank you for joining us, learning how to do a live streaming script. And most importantly, remember, have fun. Because the most important part about live streaming is really engaging your audience and having a good time. Thanks for joining us.